game 2, and they switched the colors on us. Can we get some boos in the chat for switching the colors on us? And Tato is here as Mayans. So Italians versus Mayans. See, I think this matchup favors Timotheus. Well, maybe doesn't favor, but is better than some of the other matchups he could have had here with the remaining games. I'm excited to cast this for you guys. Are you guys okay with yellow and red? Is that doable for you? We'll stick with that if you guys are cool with it. Otherwise, I'll go to blue and red. Nice map for Timotheus. 2 back gold. You should be able to scout these. It does have a stone in its base as well, as other gold is forward outside his walls. These guys are a bit closer to one another in comparison to the last game. Ooh, Tato's map. This is kind of awkward because of the woods. Normally you have lots of wood in the back of your base and on the sides. This area he'd have to wall if he wants to take wood. He can go this way and delete some of his walls, but he only has one little pocket of space. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. 2 golds for Tato on the back. Not going to complain about that. He does have his main stone forward and is gold and other stone forward, but I'd say these maps are pretty equal. The relics always equal. 3 closer. Actually, for once, 4 are closer to one person, and that's 4 closer to Tato. And this one's much closer to Timotheus. So Italians have 2 really strong options. They have the condos and early Imperial, and they have the Genoese crossbow, which is a unique unit out of the castle, and the Genoese crossbow counter cavalry units. So since it is Malians for Tato, Malians, they have a bit more options, I think. Just trying to think about like how this would play out. In the Imperial Age, Tato gets Farimba on heavy camels and is cavalier. The Genoese crossbow can counter that. But I think Malians have very strong infantry. That can be used by Tato. Tato can also go with the strong siege. And also, Tato will have a stronger boom, in my opinion, because the fact that all wood buildings are cheaper for Malians makes it so easy to play. We could even see a small monk siege push in the middle, because both players can do that with their civs. Italian should go for bombard cannons. That's certainly an option. The cool thing about the civ matchup is if it goes to imp on even terms, I think both civilizations have the tools to win the game. Now, Tato likes his tower rush. He didn't do it in Feudal Age last time. He did it in Castle Age. We'll see what his choice is this time around. And we could always see a tower rush from Timotheus as well. I mean, it's not unheard of in this tournament. The problem with going monks nowadays is booming is just stronger. I kind of like the fact that booming is a bit stronger, going heavy eco, but we used to see 2-3 monasteries in the middle and a siege workshop and a push. If Tato expects that, he can just build a castle on the front of his base and defend and boom and make Gebettos to snipe monks. So while that is an option for Italians, I don't think we're going to see that in the current meta. If Tristan can stream, it wasn't enough drinking last night. Who agrees? Dude, it took me a while to warm up, okay? I'm not going to ruin my weekend of Twitch streams for Liquor League. Liquor League will be in another 2 weeks. Maybe I'll drink a little bit more. But I never drink to that point. I'm more of a moderation kind of guy. I definitely was tipsy last night. Okay, so no sign of a tower. Actually, hold on a second. No, Tato's not tower rushing. And Timotheus isn't either. It would have been late. So what do you guys think? I'd like to hear you guys talk about this. How do Gebettos do against condos? You need quite a few Gebettos, I think, just because of the condo spam. They do pretty well. What is Liquor League? Baltimore, you must have missed it. There was a 5-hour stream last night. You can type ! Liquor League. It'll link you to the settings and the info. But every 2 weeks, we do a small mini tournament. Different times, different players. It was a lot of fun. There's drinking challenges involved. Dave and I were throwing back a couple beers. I had 2 beers and it ended up being 5 vodka and cokes. So it was a lot for me anyway. Gebettos can win. Okay, what's up, Ducks? Welcome. Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, T90 told us an amazing story last night. That is in the past broadcast, yes. I did tell that story. I can retell the story if you guys really want. We have the time. But I don't know, maybe I should just leave it on the VODs there and make it be a special thing. Both players clicking up to the next stage, 25 vills each. This is just the same thing that happened last time. Please retell. Okay. So, I'll retell 2 stories. I had an ex-girlfriend who I was pretty serious about. I mean, we were together for 6-7 months at the time. And I'm obviously very serious about Age of Empires. So it's a couple years ago, and you know, I texted Age of Empires friends, and I was constantly on AoE. So when I would answer questions, if someone would ask a yes or no question, I would use 1 or 2 for the taunts. And that's how I always did it on Age, and it got to the point, and it's still like this to this day, where I'll type 11, 1, or 2 to my friends. I just can't avoid it. And now I do this for a job, so it's like, yeah, it's my work, you know? And they're like, ah, you're a geek, but I'll stay friends with you. So anywho, I guess I texted her 11 too many times, and I kept explaining it away like, oh, misclick, or like, oh, I meant to say exclamation mark, you know? And then she's like, no, you've done this 5 times, what is it? And so I'm like, okay, you know, we've been together 7 months, I'll tell you. And so I showed her the Age of Empires, there's a video that has all the Age of Empires taunts. And she's like, she didn't really react, you know? So I said, okay, that's why I do that. Sorry, I just play the game a lot. And she didn't really think anything of it. So a week later, I get a text from her. And it says 3 question mark. And I respond with a question mark, like what? What are you trying to say? And she goes, doesn't that mean food, please? For those that don't know here, chat on.
Food, please.
That's the taunt there. So Nilly's specking this as well, and he just heard the taunt. Sorry, Nilly. So that was awesome. Like at that point, I wanted to be like, hey, will you marry me? Because she then responds and says, hey, I really want pizza. And that's why she said food, please. So, anywho, that's the first story. That's why I brought this up. Like, that story I've told quite a bit. The other story's better. It's another girl Age of Empires story. They're on their way to castle, by the way. Quick look tells me we're probably going to be seeing some monasteries from both. So, I have to skip past the juicy details of this one. But I'm waking up in the morning. And I'm like the big spoon. So there's like girls in bed with me. And it's 6 a.m. and I'm in one of those dreams that I'm in and out of. Like I know I'm awake, but I'm still thinking I'm in the dream. And so she says something to me. And since I'm still in the dream, obviously I'm dreaming about Age of Empires, because who wouldn't? I say to a girl in bed with me, I don't know why you're making halberdiers, because I'm not making knights. And she's like, what? I'm like, so then I repeat it, obviously, because she's making halberdiers and I'm not making knights. So I say it again. I'm like, I don't know why you are making halberdiers, because I'm not making knights. and then she's like, Tristan! And then I wake up, and then I get extremely embarrassed, and I say, oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That has to do with a video game that I stream, and she knew I was a streamer. Like, this was relatively recently, so, yeah, that's the story right there. Luckily, she was cool with it. Like, that was never brought up again, but yeah, that was funny stuff. So, back to the game, guys. Tato, he sees a villager coming forward for Timotheus. There's a wolf here. Timotheus has to be careful. He's trying to build a siege workshop. Oh, get woo-woo-wooed. Get woo-woo-wooed. Yes! Oh, he's getting loom. So, that vill will actually survive. Bummer for us. 3 monasteries for both. This is the first time. Maybe not the first time, but it's been a while since I've seen this. So, Italians get good monk upgrades. Malians get good monk upgrades. It's also much cheaper to go into everything for Malians. You can make the monasteries a lot easier because your wood buildings are cheaper. Timotheus just deletes that Vil. And Tato most likely is going to pick off a monk. Let's see, there's more conversions coming. Tato needs to delete the scout, I think. What? What just happened? He could have stayed there. How many hits was that? I think what happened was the monks healed the monk that was being attacked. That's unlucky for Tato, but at least he's getting his own siege workshop up now. Both players losing their scouts. Atonement's important so you can convert enemy monks, and they're both doing it 1 second apart. And so we are going to see quite a bit of wololoing. No, the girl was not smart. It was not anyone from the H community, guys. Yeah, I always say that luckily my ex didn't say create extra villagers. I would have noped out of there. Alright. Oh, Tato getting some big monk conversions. He has three? Are you kidding me? 3? This is the yellow one, so 3-1 right now in the conversions. Is he gonna get another one? He is! Oh my goodness! That changes the entire game right there. Is Timotheus gonna call? He's just gonna call the GG. Yeah, there's 10 monks for Tato now. Look at that. That is why monks are important. That is also why it's hard to cast, because you never know who's gonna win those Wololos. Tato clicked faster. Let's get the G's and the T90 salts in the chat. I personally probably shouldn't say this. I hate that that's a thing. I get that monks like have a place in the game, but that is just not like fun for me. It's successful, which is why both players did it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, I want a longer game. I want to see more units. I want a little bit more. Like, monk RNG can be annoying. A little bit more consistency. But nothing we can do about that, guys. Nothing we can do about that. There we go. What am I looking for? Units converted 4 for Tato, and he had the Siege Workshop up as well. It truly was over. It truly was over. Vault Dweller, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Said, when in doubt, Wololo. I don't truly know if Timotheus was salty, but I'm telling you guys, his civs were better for this.